Right, because the number one, factor of the game is just leverage, and you only know what leverage you got if you know it. So
You only know what
there's
you
times
know,
that
and you
somebody,
don't know what
right,
somebody else might know. Absolutely.
right. So there's people that work somewhere and they feel like they're getting underpaid because they do more than what's in their job description. The fact that you're doing more than what's in your job description means that you now have leverage, especially if you're the only person that provides certain services. So like I knew that at my last project, I was the only person that could do, design work. There was a gas explosion on Northern Boulevard, and I had to go out there with electricians, open up every manhole from 114th Street all the way to 29th Street, take pictures, take data of all the conduit and fiber cable and electric cable that was in that entire run of that 100 and something block stretch, and draw it out by hand on top of an old drawing that they had, just so they could send it to another company to make it digital. And when I did that, the other inspectors in the office were looking on the side, and one of them were telling me like, "Trevor, it's a good thing you're here because I would have never been able to do
That's
that."
crazy.
And so when he told me that, and literally all the other inspectors, all three of them, at some point or another, told me there was something I did on the job that they would have never been able to do. And that was the last one. And I was just like, once I heard that, I'm like, there's no reason why I shouldn't at least be getting paid as the lead inspector on this job. So
I love pieces like that in people's careers. I've had similar moments where, you know, it takes a lot of work. I mean, I think, that is the definition of experience.
mhm.
When people talk about experience, so you need experience to do this job. Why do I need experience? I mean, I know how to lift this. I know how to put this there. I know how to draw this. You might know how to do something, but you don't have the experience of how that works in actuality, how it works when there's different elements. I think of you doing that project of going from 114th Street to what was 29th.
29.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a crazy thing. And until you have an experience like that, you don't know the man hours that goes into it.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
it's
you can
like
guess
2 weeks.
but having the actual experience of it tells you so much more information. And then the little comment, right? Like that piece of like somebody saying, it's a good thing you're here because nobody else knows how to do this. And then going back in your story and having that gentleman tell you, listen, you can read that book, but that's not going to be what gets you the job.
Right.
Understand that's drawing. That's what's going to get you the job. That's
Yep.
what's going to get you the payment, which I hear loud and clear because here you are drawing the drawing to
Yep.
create the digital map. And, that advice probably is, which you got from being on the job, working with people and having that hands-on experience. You didn't get that in the college classroom.
Right. And I even know, because I worked not just in the field, but because I was there for like 3.5 years, I had a lot of office experience too. So that's why I started learning the backsides of, government contracting, because how I got my job, I was working on a
Yes.
Department of Transportation contract for the state, but I was technically hired by a private company in New Jersey. So I never really understood how that worked, but I didn't ask too many questions. And after a while, I started learning.
Let me just resounding exclamation point. Because I think so many people walk through life that same way, right? I didn't understand how it works, but I just,
Right.
I do it. And it's such a big deal when you're working in a job and you don't understand something. Ask those questions. You're applying to a college and you don't understand something. Ask those questions. Somebody's telling you about a program, you don't understand all the details. Ask those questions. Don't
Right.
just accept this stuff. Yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I thought that was huge. So we're talking about government contracts, and this is something I've been working for 8.5 years. I do business on a handshake with everybody, and a big part of my business suffers because one of the biggest companies that I work with is Compass Group, and they have a approved buyer, so a corporate company that actually
Right.
handles their purchasing department. And I have so many aches and pains on the business side because I'm not an approved vendor and haven't figured out how to work this system and become an approved vendor. And I know there's
Right.
things that I could probably be doing, leveraging the fact that my wife is Latina and she's a 50% owner of the business.
Oh yeah,
I've
Cameron, come
already,
on, you know that already.
but I don't take advantage of any of that. So,
Right.
hopefully you'll work with me and we'll improve my business on that. But that's my story, but this is your story and how you are leveraging your engineering know-how, your business know-how, and the current system of the world. So talk to it. Talk to
Right.
it.
So it all tied back into just knowing leverage for negotiation. So with me learning all of that back stuff, I know, okay, by them being able to send me out doing this extra work, they don't have to pay, Parsons Engineering, which was a much bigger and more expensive engineering company, to send one of their specialists out to do stuff. Because just calling that company, they would charge the state $1,000. So that if you had to call them, you better be setting it up for them to come out. Otherwise, you wasted $1,000. So me knowing that is just like every time I do an extra thing, I just save them $1,000 by answering that
But
question.
you're getting like $50 an hour for something that if you weren't there, they'd have to pay $1,000 now.
Exactly. Not even an hour, just a flat rate phone call, $1,000. Like you better pay more if you're gonna pay the 1,000. Is essentially how the model goes. And so understanding all that, just like, okay, I saved them too much money for me not to be the one asking for more. Like, technically, I'm saving them $100 an hour, give or take, so I should be able to ask for $20 an hour more. But obviously, you can't just walk in, hey, can you double my salary? So, we're just understanding the leverage. But with me understanding the government contracts, because at one point I started thinking about, I need to get a raise and stuff like that. You get your regular 2% raise during the year, but like you don't really notice it because like after taxes,
Again,
it's like
going back to negotiation,
right,
that's the way raises work. That's what most
right,
companies do.